Hello and welcome to another episode of the Contractor Grow Show. My name is Mark Lamberth. I'm your host. Today I'm speaking with Steve St. Pierre at Tropical Air Kare in New Orleans. Steve, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so I'd love to hear from your words what services you provide for your customers.
We are a HVAC contractor, residential, about 70% residential, 30% commercial, service, sales, installation, repairs,
Great. Okay, fantastic. And it looks like this is a combination. Your brother and you started kind of combined forces to start the company here. Is that right?
Yeah. So I started a company named Air Care back in 2019. And my brother started a company, Tropical AC and Heat, many years before that, around 06, 07. And we talked about it. We joked about it for a long time about merging. We hadn't worked together in a long time. And it eventually kind of worked out that we thought it would be a good idea with these private equity firms coming in and really raising the floor of our industry. And in the process, in our opinion, hurting our customers or hurting the not just our customers, but the customers in our area, And so we decided January 1st to merge, and that's when we formed Tropical Air Kare. And we want to compete with the private equity firms.
Love it. Fantastic. And so tell me about that. What has been happening in the industry with the private equity firms?
So at some point in time, somebody figured out that it's lucrative to investors to buy HVAC companies, plumbing companies, electricians. They're even buying private personal injury attorney firms. And what they do is they're only focused on the sale. They're not focused on relationships. They're not focused on long-term service of the customer. And they tout themselves as these local companies still. And the problem with that is people believe it. So they don't change the names. They keep these local names, and people wind up thinking they're getting a local company. And once the sale's complete, there's no follow through. There's no, you can't call them on a weekend. You can't get them on the phone. It's an answering service. And we just saw the lack of service that was happening to the customers in our area. And we saw the price getting driven up for the same stuff that other people are doing. And it doesn't make any sense. So it's hard enough in the economy that we live in to make ends meet. When you're paying $5,000-$6,000 more for something than you should, there's an issue there. And so what we decided to do was, like I said, merge. And now we're looking at doing acquisitions of local companies to keep them local, truly local. And we made a promise and a commitment to ourselves that we are not going to sell out. We're going to be here for the long haul. And this is something that's important to us.
Oh man, that's amazing. How many people do you guys have on your team right now?
Right at 20. We're growing and expanding. We just actually added 4 new technicians since the beginning of the year.
Wow, I love it. And in regards to you guys doing some expanding, buying some other local companies, would those all be in the kind of air, AC heating niche, or would that be, going outside of that as well?
No, so we want to stay inside of what we know how to do. And I think that's something that is important as well, is that, we don't want to be a jack of all trades. We're good at what we do. My brother and I both grew up in this industry, and I think it's important for us to stick with what we know.
Oh man, that's fantastic. So you guys got started at this at an early age, before even you started your companies? And
yeah, so my father actually owned an HVAC company, and that's where the name Air Care came from. My father got sick right about 2018, 2019. And I was out of the industry on this side of it. And I worked in a lot of different sides and facets inside of the HVAC industry. And I visited with him one day, and I asked him what was going to happen with his company. And he said, nothing is going to die with me. And I said, wait. So I was at the hospital, and I was working for another firm at the time. And I was like, you know what? I can't let that happen. So I decided that on that day in 2019, right at the beginning of COVID, I'm going to buy his name and start a business, which that was probably one of the best and craziest decisions I've ever made in my life.
Amazing. So I noticed, Steve, here with you guys' business, you guys have got a ton of five-star reviews, 130 five-star reviews on Google, great reviews other places as well. In a contracting business, not always easy to do that. What have you guys done to create so much goodwill in the community and make so many raving fans for you guys?
One of the things that we've always said, and my brother and I actually, it's interesting. We didn't work together for a long time, almost 20 years, but we both kind of have the same approach, and that is, we offer real solutions to real problems. We don't make problems up. We don't simply because something. Actually, one of our slogans is just because it's old doesn't mean it's broke. And a lot of people have this mentality that after 12 years, we just need to start changing equipment. At the end of the day, yes, we are equipment dealers, and that's one thing. But if I build a relationship with someone and can, offer them real solutions to their problems, then it becomes an easier, it's an easier go of it because people learn to trust you. And in our industry, just like a lot of other industries, people don't have trust inherently because they don't understand the processes. They don't understand what goes on. And so they're looking to you to be the expert. And when you take advantage of that and you go in with these, pushy salesmen that are selling people things they don't need and such, that's just not what people want, especially not in our area. We found that in other regions that may work just fine. But for us, people just want the truth. And if it means, hey, you know what, we have to push that down the road or punt that system change out to let's get this thing working until they can afford it, then that's what we need to do.
That's amazing. Love it. Do you guys have a process for, I'm just curious, where we're trying to, encourage our clients, folks we work with to get more reviews. Do you guys have any kind of process for that? Like, when a job gets completed, an automatic email, or message goes out, asking folks for an honest review of their service?
Yes. So we use a company to, when our jobs are completed, instantaneously when that technician finishes the job, upon completion and signatures, the customer about 5 minutes later gets a text message with a link directly to Google for the review and asks them, for an honest review. And listen, yeah, 5-star reviews are great, but we learned just as much from those other ones as well. I'll give you an example. Over the weekend, we had a 4-star review come in, and I had to laugh to myself. I said, who leaves a 4-star review? Well, when you read the review and you go, okay, it makes sense. And that's the customer that you reach out to and you say, hey, listen, I appreciate that honest review. What can we do in the future to earn 5 stars from you? Because that's how we learn and that's how we build a better team and that's how we grow. And if you think that you figured it all out, and I think you know this, you've got a long way to go because there's a lot of things that you can work on before, you say that you're perfect. And I don't think you'll ever get there. So.
That's fantastic. Well, Steve, this is great, man. What is the service area do you guys work in?
So we work in the greater New Orleans area. We also work in what's called the North Shore of Louisiana, South Louisiana. So that's, and then we also go south to the West Bank. So it's about a 50-mile radius that we work in.
Okay. Great. Well, Steve, if folks are in the New Orleans area, up in kind of the North or West Shore area, and also in the city, and are looking for a great air conditioning company to work with, what are a couple of good ways to reach out to you guys?
So you can go on our website, which is Tropical Air Kare with a K.com, or they can call us. And we, 504-467-8119 is our main number. And we'd love to help anybody out that we can. So absolutely. It's something that's important to us. So the more people we can help out, the better.
Fantastic. Great. So just to make sure I got the number right, 504-467-8119.
Yeah, that's right.
Great. And also tropicalairkare.com, and Care is spelled with a K, K-A-R-E. Tropicalairkare.com. You can get in touch with Steve and his brother, running a great company in New Orleans. Steve, thanks so much for being with us today and sharing your experience of the company so far.
I truly appreciate you having us, Mark. Thank you.